Train Sim World 5, Limelight on the FlixTrain. Calling all passengers for Frankfurt. We're going green in Train Sim World 5 as we bring one of Germany's biggest cities to life, along with a new variant of one of Train Sim World's most popular locomotives. In this article, we'll take a look at what makes Frankfurt, Fulda one of the busiest German routes yet, along with how the Vectron deals with passenger trains and its new FlixTrain guys. We'll also talk more about some of the new and updated features that can be found in Train Sim World 5, such as the live map, fast travel, and track shadow rendering. Early access, Thursday 12th September. A reminder that deluxe/special edition players who have pre-ordered will be able to play Train Sim World for the first time later this week. If you've not pre-ordered yet and want to take part in the action, you can do so using the links at the bottom of this article. Dev Diary 3. This week's Dev Diary, our final one for Train Sim World 5, talks about what we do to bring some of the most innovative trains in the game. Lindsay and Adam discuss the nitty-gritty of simulating the technical aspects of both the ICET and AMD West Coast Pendolino. The route, Frankfurt Fulda Kinzigtalbahn. As a vital commuter, regional and international hub, the massive Frankfurt Main HBF is easily one of the most important stations in Germany. From here, traffic travels in all directions across the country, coming in many forms: regional, commuter, and intercity express trains. Bringing Frankfurt to Train Sim World has been a labor of love for much of the development team, particularly those based in Germany and Europe. Populating the scenery around the impressive station and recreating the endless network of tracks has been a careful process for those track laying and building up the environment. Beyond Frankfurt, the route heads northeast, beyond the suburbs that surround Frankfurt and out into the wider Hesse region via smaller towns and through verdant and open countryside. The route follows the course of the River Main as far as Hanau and then the Kinzig, which gives the line its name, Kinzigtalbahn. A total of 24 stations exist on the 103 km route, located at important locations and junctions along the line, with a number of branches and other main routes spurring from the route and heading out of the map. At Hanau, roughly 21 km from Frankfurt, a stretch of track still utilizes semaphore signaling, which has been included in-game. At the end of the route is Fulda, which lies part way between Kassel and Wurzburg from the route previously featured in Train Sim World 3. Players that own this route will be able to use Train Sim World 5 new route hopping feature to transition at Fulda and continue playing from there. Licensed Airbus aircraft. As mentioned in our August roadmap part 1, for the first time we have been able to secure licensed aircraft in Train Sim World in the form of the Airbus A321LR and the Airbus A350-1000 XWB. For Frankfurt Fulda, this allows us to bring the skies above cities to life in all new ways, giving you something to look out for while on the move, providing it's not cloudy. As well as Frankfurt Fulda, you will also see aircraft above the skies of San Bernardino Lions Los Angeles for LAX patterns, as well as in the forthcoming Great Western Express remaster for Heathrow patterns. Adding to the aircraft theme in Frankfurt, Fulda is the Mastery Tier 2 scenery tile, which shows activity in more planes at Gelnhausen in the form of an airshow. The trains. A total of 5 different locomotives and units, including the ICT, feature in Frankfurt, Fulda, with the FlixTrain BR 193 Vectron being an additional locomotive as part of Train Sim World 5, Deluxe and Special Editions. DB-BR 411 ICE-D. New to Train Sim World's ICE fleet is the DB-BR 411 ICET, complete with its impressive GNT tilting technology. ICET units have been in service across Germany since 1999, adding a different style of train to that of the ICE-1. The ICET's tilting function, which can reach a maximum of 8 degrees, allows them to travel at higher speeds than conventional trains. Like the AMD West Coast Pendolino and West Coast Main Line, a separate system in place to monitor this and needs to be enabled in order for the tilting to take place. Screenshot taken by beta tester Federico Di Liberto. This system, GNT, works with other safety systems like PZB, LZB, and CIFA to ensure safe operation across the Frankfurt Fulda route. The GNT system needs to be turned on in order for tilting to work. This is a manual process done by the player. Sounds for the ICET were sourced directly from the train during a research trip to Germany, whilst other ICE trains have also had their audio sourced directly from the train by people on the ground in Germany. This was the first opportunity that our development team had to go out and record an IC train firsthand. FlixTrain BR 193 Vectron plus TOMAHAWK coaches. Available in Train Sim World 5, Deluxe and Special Editions. Players of Train Sim World 5, Deluxe and Special Editions will also be able to take control of the FlixTrain Vectron and TOMAHAWK coaches. Evolved from the previous Eurosprinter family and entering service in the early 2010s, the Siemens Vectron family of locomotives were designed as a modular platform to suit the needs of any rail operator in Europe, available in both DC and AC electric, diesel, and dual-mode options. Collectively, over 2,000 Vectrons have been ordered for use by more than 50 different companies across Europe. This makes the family a well-known and familiar sight for all rail fans. Even if design specifications differ, everyone knows the Vectron. FlixTrain, a brand new partner not just in Train Sim World but for Dovetail Games as a whole, was founded in 2018 as a private long-distance passenger rail provider in Germany and is part of the travel tech company Flix, known for its global FlixBus brand. FlixTrain operates a fleet of 140 vibrant green, fully refurbished TOMAHAWK coaches which are leased from an external asset company. Being as versatile as they are, the Vectrons make for a good fitting with FlixTrain operations and are used across their whole network. Screenshot taken by beta tester Federico Di Liberto. Though existing players may be familiar with the Railpool Vectron loco add-on from Train Sim World 4, its operations on the Dresden, Riesa, and S-Bahn-Vorarlberg routes were focused primarily on freight services. The FlixTrain Vectron will instead haul passenger services across the Frankfurt, Fulda route. Players will also be able to make use of FlixTrain Vectron across other German routes by spawning in timetable mode. DB-BR 193 Vectron. Frankfurt, Fulda also features the DB Vectron and the classic red livery seen across the German network. Like the Railpool variant, this one hauls freight trains across the route and can be substituted into freight services on other route in your collection where the Railpool Vectron appears. DB-BR 114. Also new to Train Sim World is the DB-BR 114. This classic electric locomotive sits within a family that's already been represented in previous Train Sim World routes with the BR 143 and BR 112, therefore completing the set. The main difference between each locomotive is the permitted top speed, though a number of model changes have also been made over the 143 and 112 too, such as the headlight cluster. The 114 will also support suspension updates. Passenger trains formed of Dastos hauled by this locomotive will also have the conductor mode feature available. DB-BR 146.2, screenshot taken by beta tester Federico Di Liberto. Further passenger services can also be operated by the BR 146.2, as previously seen in the Dresden, Riesa, and Main Spessartbahn route add-ons. These more modern electric locomotives will add yet more variety to Kinzigtalbahn's timetable and an alternative setting in which operate passenger trains. The DB-BR 146.2 electric locomotive is included in Train Sim World 5 Frankfurt Fulda Kinzigtalbahn route. Players do not need to own previously released content to access this train. DB-BR 423. Also included for busy commuter S-Bahn traffic is the DB-BR 423 EMU, previously seen as a loco add-on for the Köln-Aachen route add-on and as a train included in Hauptstrecke München, Augsburg. The DB-BR 423 EMU is included in Train Sim World 5 Frankfurt Fulda Kinzigtalbahn route. Players do not need to own previously released content to access this train. Timetable, layers, and gameplay. An extensive and complex timetable has been implemented into Frankfurt not only to make full use of the variety of trains from within the route, but also those from the wider German content back catalog. This includes layering using multiple add-ons. The types of services available to operate in Frankfurt, Fulda include 1. ICET will run ICE services the full length of the route between Frankfurt and Fulda. 2. DBBR 140 and 146 locomotives with Dostos will run RE and RB passenger services between Frankfurt Main HBF and Fulda. Some services originate from locations beyond the map, such as Wurzburg and Bamberg. At peak hours, some RE 50 services will be top and tailed. Empty stock movements are also available to operate. 3. DBBR 193 Vectron freight services with SGG MRSS, Abians, and Kalos wagons. 4. DBBR 423 S-Bahn services. S8 and S9 services are playable for part of their journey. Other S-Bahn services are AI only. Additional service layers and layer selector. TrainSim World 5 new layer selector feature will allow players to see what additional services are available from other add-ons both in their collection or those that they have yet to purchase. This new feature also allows layers to be toggled on and off as desired. Screenshot taken by beta tester Federico Di Liberto. An overview of additional service layers is as follows. 1. FlixTrain BR 193 Vectron passenger services available for players of TrainSim World 5 Deluxe and Special Editions, or the additional local add-on that will release on launch. 2. Playable ICE1 and ICE3 services from the Kassel-Wurzburg route add-on. This add-on also unlocks route hopping that Fulda where AI Kassel-Wurzburg services can be seen heading in and out of the map. 3. Playable IC services using the DBBR 101 loco add-on. 4. AI trains representing NJ services, formed of IC coaches, Lars wagons, and hauled by OMUP BB 1116 locomotives. Semmeringbahn, S-Bahn Vorarlberg, and Hauptstrecke Rheinruhr route add-ons are all required to unlock these. 5. Mostly AI DBBR 425 services from Bremen-Oldenburg route add-on. These can be seen at Frankfurt HBF, Frankfurt SED, Hanau, and Schluchern. A small number of playable services are available. 6. Playable and AIDB BR 628 DMU services from Kinzigtalbahn route add-on. These appear in the DB red livery. 7. Some playable DB BR 642 services from the Maintalbahn route add-on. 8. DB BR 103 rail tour services from the Link Rheinstrecke route add-on. 9. Shunting services at Steinau using the DB BR 363 in stock from the Ruhrsieg Nord and Hauptstrecke Rheinruhr route add-ons. As is typical of German routes and TrainSim world, playable locomotive substitutions for both freight and passenger services are available for players with additional content in their collection. This includes the Railpool Vectron, Press BR 155, MRCE locomotives, and more. Freight stock from other add-ons will also layer in to create a variety of consists for freight trains. These include, similarly, the DBBR 193 Vectron from Frankfurt. Fulda will substitute into freight services on other European route add-ons, and the DBBR 140 will do likewise for passenger services. Notable additional AI traffic can also be seen. 1. DBBR 642 DMU traffic at Frankfurt, Hanau, Gelnhausen, and Fulda from the Maintalbahn route add-on. 2. Trains heading out of the map to Aschaffenburg in and around Hanau, including ICE and freight trains. 3. Kassel-Wolfsburg services heading in and out of the map at Fulda. 4. DB-BR 442 trains at both Frankfurt and Fulda from Kassel-Wolfsburg route add-on. 5. Static locomotive from the DB-BR 218 loco add-on. 8th generation console services. After reviewing performance on previous generation consoles, we've amended the timetable to provide a suitable experience for these players Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Timetable services included for these consoles are formed of DB-BR 114 plus DOSTOS RB51, RE51, RE50, RE54, and RE55 services and ICT services, with additional FlixTrain Vectron layers for owners of deluxe/special edition. Other locomotives included in the route, such as the DB Vectron, will be available to operate by spawning them into the timetable. West Coast Mainline Timetable. In addition, further amendments have been made to the timetable of West Coast Mainline for 8th generation console players. The timetable will now consist of Class 350 and Class 377 services, with additional Avenue West Coast Class 390 Pendolino services available for deluxe/special edition players. Other trains included in the route, such as the Class 66 and London Underground stock, will be available to operate by spawning them into the timetable. New and updated core features. Live Map 2.0. With so many available services to operate in and out of Frankfurt, TridentZ World 5 updated Live Map feature will be invaluable to players wanting to understand the operations around them and, if using free roam's path setting function, plot your way along the tracks between other trains moving around the route. The introduction of a more detailed legend, highlighting signal aspects and direction, stations, speed limits, objectives, and more will make the route much more navigable for players unfamiliar with the real-world routes and make plotting paths a much simpler process. The maps crucially also displays live information about the trains and around you on the route. Wondering why one train has priority over you coming into Frankfurt? Hover over it to find out. It's an express train. That explains it. Where's that train going ahead of me? Will I have to follow it for long? No. It's a regional service heading out of the map. Knowing this information will help you feel part of the network and timetable you're working to and ensure you don't miss anything exciting coming or going around your current location. Fast travel. The map also allows for the new fast travel feature, whereby players can choose to relocate themselves within a route. This is particularly useful for once you've completed a service and want to explore other parts of the route or different services at another location. You can even go back to where you came from and start again with a completely new train. And you didn't hear this from us, but we've heard it's a fantastic way to pick up all those lovely route collectibles too. You won't be able to teleport just anywhere along the map. There are specific locations markers which come up for major yards, sidings and stations and in other preset locations, and can be found in the live map. This feature will work across compatible content where existing spawn points are already included. So get ready to jump into TridentZ World 5 and get to the action as you find it. The combination of both fast travel and the live map updates may bring new gameplay opportunities and extensions to your sessions. After running into Frankfurt with an ICT, you might see an interesting service taking place elsewhere, perhaps waiting to depart back at Fulda. Hover over the train, find out what it is, fast travel over there and operate it. Track shadow rendering. Available on selected route add-ons. If you missed the reveal in our run-up article, we've also been able to improve the rendering draw distance system for shadows on the tracks, so you will no longer see a harsh cut of shading following ahead of the train as you drive. Route hopping. We covered route hopping in more detail in our San Bernardino line article, but as a reminder, players with selected routes in their collection will be able to jump between routes that share a common location without returning to the main menu. Live stream Frankfurt Fulda route preview. You can view a preview of the Frankfurt Fulda Kinzigtalbahn route featuring both the ICT and FlixTrain Vectron locomotive this Wednesday, September 11th with the Railfan TV team from 1800 UTC on YouTube and Twitch. Pre-order TridentZ World 5 Deluxe Edition. TridentZ World 5 launches for early access this week for those who have pre-ordered deluxe or special editions. You'll be able to jump straight in on 12th September at 1600 BSD/1800 BSD depending on which platform you're playing on.